Hello everybody, welcome back to the cabin. Welcome back to Commonwealth. Flipper, thanks for joining us today. Hopefully, if you're a reseller, your Q4 sales are going great out there. Mine are going really, really well. So I'm pleasantly surprised with how well things are going. But at the same time, we've been working our butts off. We've been listing, we've been shipping, we've been filming 4 videos a week because we're selling so much stuff every day. 15 items a day. One day, like 19 items the next day. So we're doing pretty darn good, pretty happy with it. Hopefully you are as well. But we have had some snafus every year, it seems like. Although I'll say this one isn't quite as bad, I don't think. There are some shipping issues. There are some of the big shippers out there, USPS, UPS. I want to talk about that a little bit. Some messages that I've been getting from some folks about lost packages and things like that. I've had a couple of issues. I want to talk about those a little bit, but there's some awesome sales out here too. Let's take a look. Speaking of shipping, I want to also talk a little bit about something I was hearing on a podcast the other day about local post offices and different techniques and different things that different people do. I want to get your opinion of that out there. And something happened in my local post office that makes me smile a little bit. Sold a granny square. This one right here. This one was cool. I had never seen one quite like it, so I picked it up. It has the big gaps in it, of course, which really make the flowers stand out a little bit. Let's see this here. Handmade by Ethel Massif. I mean, how cool, you even got your own label, right? This is a big one. So here's a little trend that's going on out there. It's been going on for a while, but I've been seeing more and more of it lately. And I don't mean the trend of granny square blankets selling. We sell them from time to time. This is the kind I really like, the tight knit ones. They're cool. The ones that look like they were on the Roseanne show, but they've been on all kinds of shows. But the new trend I'm talking about is actually, in my opinion, lifted the price back up. I used to get really good money for those, and then it went way down, and then it kind of has gradually come back up. For a while, I just stopped picking them up unless they were huge. And now the big ones are even selling better, I think, than they were, say, 4 or 5 months ago. I know it's because it's colder. I get that too. But I'm seeing the trend of people turning these granny square blankets into other things. So they want to buy the biggest ones they can get, the biggest bang for their buck. I've seen handbags. I posted on Instagram the other day, somebody made a Christmas tree out of these things. I saw a man wearing pants the other day that were made out of a granny square blanket. There's all kinds of cool stuff going on out there with granny square blankets. So there's something, I wouldn't pay too much, because this one right here sold for $30. $30. So I paid less than $5, I'm sure, for it. Sold for $30 plus shipping. It's just one of the things I like to do. Sometimes we get excited because we're listing a bunch and selling a bunch of the stuff you just listed, but I love to see those things that have been in the store for a while being mixed into those sales. And here is one of those right here. Picked this up at a sale last year. It is a, what do they call it? I don't know what they call it. Sun lamp. Can you imagine? And I think there's a timer on it. So you put a little timer on it and you get your little suntan like that. And these, believe it or not, I've sold 2 or 3 of these, probably actually 3 or 4 of these over the years. And this one right here, I paid probably $1 or $2 for it. It sold for $40 plus shipping. Some of you may know that almost all of you know I'm a sucker for ashtrays, but some of you may know I'm a sucker for paperweights too. And I saw this one and I picked it up. I'm able to pass on a bunch, but not this one, because it wasn't just paperweight. It was a paperweight pen holder, which of course makes it super special. I don't even know. I think I might have picked this up in Florida, but I might have picked it up a while back somewhere else. I can't even remember, and I don't remember what I paid for it either. But that one's pretty cool. And it sold pretty quick. This one has a marking on it of some sort. I had to go get my little jeweler's loupe right there to see it. It's Gentile glass, and it sold for $30 plus shipping. The next one I've been waiting for this one to sell because I didn't want it hanging around after Christmas this year. And I bought it super cheap and I thought it was awesome. Put it up there and it didn't sell and I got a little disappointed, but it finally sold. And I think it is at the bottom of the Hawaii bin. This one's always tricky because the light is here, y'all. There we go. Let me just take the whole thing out so I don't break the light. I'll go put it over here in my chair. Christmas stuff in a Hawaii band. There you go. One of my favorite Christmas songs. Miliki Liki Laka, right? Did I get that right? That's a good one. Here it is right here. This angel, Paramount illuminated angel, sold. There it is. Open the box so you could take a look at it. And it has the box, and that is kind of key to it as well. It's also a lot easier to list something. So $38 for that one. Plus shipping. It was at a sale where they were selling a bunch of stuff, and some of it was really high priced, and then some of it was dirt cheap. And it's because the dirt cheap stuff wasn't theirs. They were just selling it off for somebody else, and they didn't care. And that's always the way to do it. You find the people who are selling other people's stuff, and you make money. Some of y'all might remember I think it was 2 years ago. It might have been 3, but I think it was 2. Was the worst ever for items not just disappearing out there in thin air. I think that's right. Tell me if it was 2 or 3 years ago. You guys probably remember better than me at this point. And there was it just seemed like every day I was getting a message from somebody saying, hey, this hasn't showed up yet, whatever. And it was always a topic of conversation. What do you do with a buyer who says, hey, the item hadn't showed up, you dropped it off, it got disappeared in tracking and all that stuff. Well, I hadn't had one in quite a while, but I just got one from one of those posters, those Scrooge posters that we've been selling. So here's what I do when that happens, and let me know if you do something different. I'll tell you this first. I hear a lot of folks say they will immediately contact the post office the first time they get one of those messages, and that's probably the best thing to do. Some people say that it gets it going, it speeds it up, it finds it, it's whatever. I've done it, and it's worked before. I don't know if it worked or not, but the item started to move soon after. It could have been coincidence. I usually don't do that unless it's a high-priced item. I usually just send a message to say, hey, sometimes this happens with the post office. You mind waiting a couple more days on it? And maybe we can check with the post office after that or something like that. Now, if somebody sends a message and it's been stuck for 2 weeks already, I'm not going to send that message. I'm just going to say, hey, I'm going to try to contact the post office on this end. You maybe do the same thing there. But this isn't one of those item didn't show up even though tracking says it showed up kind of thing. And that's happened once this year as well to me. And eBay usually backs you up on that. Let me know if you're out there and eBay didn't back you up on one of those. I'm curious if there's any outliers, because if the tracking says it was delivered and the person says it wasn't delivered, eBay's going to back you up most of the time. I do know that there are some people out there who give refunds in those circumstances. I usually won't. I won't do that. I think that if you do, you better trust that person, and you better be sure that they're not trying to pull the wool over your eyes. So usually I send that message out, and that's what I did this time with this poster. I'm like, hey, you mind just waiting a couple days? Because this one was weird. This one showed it was never scanned. And occasionally, once in a blue moon, I might have a small item that kind of sinks down in one of my bags, and I find it a few days later when I'm packing a bag up again, and it's my fault. But this was a big giant tube. This wouldn't have been my fault. Sometimes I've done this twice in my life, and now I have these little safeguards to make sure I don't do it. I'll drop a UPS item off at the post office, or a post office item off at UPS. Let me know if you've done that out there before. But that wasn't the case here, because I know those people who I drop off the UPS stuff, and that wasn't the case at all. So this was a USPS item, and they would have held that for me if I dropped a USPS item off at UPS, because it's like a local little print shop that I drop off at. Now, the post office wouldn't. If I dropped a UPS package off at the post office, I'd probably be the end of it. If you follow this show, well, I don't know, it's been over a year now. I had a little bit of trouble with the post office with scan sheets, because they wanted me to bring in a scan sheet every time I dropped something off, which sometimes would work, and I did it a few times. We store these up top. Old Jack Skellington right there, sold for $40, which isn't a bad sale. I dropped the price on them a little bit from last year. We sold a few at top dollar. This year I waited, we sold one, and then I dropped the price a little bit. We sold one on Whatnot as well. Brand new with tags. These things actually scrunch up pretty darn good. And we'll put them in either a black construction bag and crush it all down, or I don't know what we'll do with this one. They usually fit in the number 7, but it is pretty jam-packed. And we're making about, depending on where it's going, I'm making about a $20 profit on those. But I kept having a problem when I'd go in there, and I was always extremely kind, and I would go out of my way to make sure that, you know, it wasn't harder than it had to be on them. But a scan sheet was really difficult because it would have ended up being 5 different scan sheets from different platforms sometimes, not all the time. I shipped out from 5 different platforms the other day. So it does happen. And then we did the Dibdit thing, Dibdit.com, and I made a few sales over there as well. We had those. We had CommonwealthPicker.com. We had a Bonanza sale. We had an eBay sale. We had Whatnot sales. Occasionally we have a Poshmark sale. Sometimes Mercari, although we haven't ever had all 7 at the same time. But a lot of days it's at least 3 different platforms. So, you know, there was one lady in there who just did not like me very much. And then the person in charge didn't like me too much either. But it wasn't anything I did per se. It's just they just couldn't understand why I couldn't give them a scan sheet. And so one day I did all the scan sheets from all the platforms and brought them all in there. And then they're like, why do you have so many scan sheets? I'm like, oh, geez. Anyway, but there are 2 super sweet girls who work in there now. I think one of the ladies just retired. Congratulations on your retirement. And, you know, stuff happens. I don't know that it's worse during Q4 than any other time. I think what's going on is there's just more packages, which means there's more opportunity to lose stuff. Let me know your experience lately with items being lost. I ended up, because I have so many of those posters, I ended up just shipping another one to the person because they waited and then they sent a message. I'm like, oh shoot, just whatever. I made plenty of money on it. I'm making money even sending a second one. So, you know, sometimes you can do that. Sometimes it's a big priced item and you got to do anything and everything you can to make sure you get that money out of it and they get the item. So far this year, UPS hasn't lost anything, although I don't ship a ton UPS. I don't ship anything FedEx hardly ever right now. I usually don't do it because it's hard for a drop-off here. I've not had any lost packages anywhere else except for UPS, and we've had 2 in Q4 so far. I'm wondering if anybody else has had any out there. This should be a TI-83 Plus, and it should have gone, I can't get these off with one hand very good. Should have sold for $25 plus shipping, which isn't as much as you used to get, but it is a TI-83, not an 84. It's not a platinum, anything like that. So this time of year, I'll take that. This should be in the Resellers Hall of Fame. I think I've sold 200 of these over the years, at least. And we sold another Damn It doll, and this one's the Grinch. And I don't put Grinch in the title. I think I mentioned this on the last video. Actually, 2 of them sold here. That's weed right there. Not the Grinch. There's one of those. Let me see if I can get lucky and find another one in here. There's one right back there. That one. Nope, that's not it. Gonna have to put it on the ground. I'm too short. Too short. There's another one right there. See that? Alright, 2 of those sold. And I'm trying to think what they're going for. I think $12.95, but I'm going to double check. One person bought 2 of them and they sold for $30 plus shipping. So we're into that for about $1.50. And they sold for $30 plus shipping. Gotta love it. Sold another one of these Liberty University Trapper hats. That's 2 in 2 days. And this one, see, there's different ones. I gotta make sure I get the right one. See how there's different ones like that? And I think this one sells better than this one. I gotta make sure. But $17 for that one or this one. I don't know which one. Plus shipping, and you know, a little bit of success on a sports team and their merchandise sells. I was right. This one was the cheaper of the 2. I don't know which one you like better, but that one sold for $17 plus shipping. I'll put this one back. I think that's the last. Nope, there's one more in there. Sweet. It's the nice one. All right, I promised Dave on the Trash to Cash podcast that I would shout out the Trash to Cash, what does he call it? Winter Bash down in Orlando, January 18th. I guess, you know, should be a good time. There's a link at Commonwealth Picker. I'm saying it should be a good time, but Dave is there, so you never know what's crazy nonsense goes on. But Trash to Cash, Winter Bash, January 18th, 19th, 20th, down, I think that's right, down in Orlando. I will be there. I think some of my family will be there. Of course, Carry American Arbitrage will be there as well. There's nothing formal. There's no, like, you know, seminars or any of that stuff. I mean, let's face it, how much could Dave and Carrie teach anyway? So, but it should be a good time. We should eat together a few times, go to the bins. I think Dave's rented out a miniature golf course and whatever. So if you're near the area and want to do that, or maybe you're in a cold place and you want to come down and do some sourcing and hang out with us, that would be awesome. I think it is $150, and I can promise you, all you naysayers out there, I will lose money on this, like I lose money on everything that I do with Dave, for sure, I promise. But at any rate, CommonwealthPicker.com, scroll down to upcoming events, and if you're going to be down there, if you want to get out of the winter, we're doing that down there, and the tickets are available. I think he said there was a total of 60 tickets, and 31 have sold. I'm sure... Well, I don't want to tell you who's going to be there and not be right, but I think Rod picking him punch in, and I don't know who else is coming, but there'll be a few Death Pile Picker, of course. And sold a little Aflac duck again for $10 plus shipping. I love having multi-quantity items that are things that people could buy for stocking stuffers. And that is like the epitome of this. This bin will be here for a long, long time, but we will make a little bit of money off of a few listings forever. I might as well just grab that one out of here, I think. I think this is the right one. There's Scooby-Doo. There might be two different types of Scooby-Doo keychains, but that's the one that sold $11 plus shipping. I take that back. $11 for $10.95. Free shipping. That sounds a little better. This one went to a viewer, and I haven't read too many viewer sales the last week, if you don't recall. So we've got a few in here today. This one went to Ronald. Hey, just to let you know, I'm a viewer for some time now, along with ADH Dave and Carrie too. Well, I won't hold that against you. I enjoy watching all of you guys. If I could get some stickers from you, I would love them, please and thank you, Ronald. So, absolutely. It's definitely what we do. 1, 2, and 3. We usually throw these stickers, a little card in there. Almost all the time, but if we suspect it's a viewer, we do it for sure. Another Damn It doll sold, and this one's a little different. I like this one because it sold for $19 plus shipping. These football ones, or any kind of sport, I suppose. It says Win Damn It on it. And this one had, I don't know, is that LSU colors or is that Laker colors? It depends on how you want to look at it, I suppose. But we sold that one, and I don't know, that's a different looking purple from the Lakers, I think. But anyway, $19 plus shipping. Next one is kind of a bad buy, to be honest with you. I paid $5 for it, and I had to haggle down to $5. And I thought maybe I could get around $25 to $30 for this set in the springtime. It didn't sell, and we've been dropping it down, and it sold. And it is a set of glasses right here. I actually just moved them over here. I was hoping they would sell earlier this year, and they were sitting over there, but this set of glasses, there's only 4 of them. If there were 6, we'd be better off, but you know, 5 into $18.95 plus shipping, and it's glass. Probably not the best buy. I love selling Christmas ornaments, and I especially love selling them right before Christmas, so I'm not holding them all year. Although I will say that Christmas ornaments do sell throughout the year. Almost anything does, but they certainly sell way better at Christmas, and I like to get them out. I might even discount them right before or right after. Tasmanian Devil, and I don't know what's behind it. I think it's another Taz right behind it. There it is. Check it out. That one's kind of cool. $17 plus ship. Sold a Chevy belt buckle, if I can find it. There it is right there. What do you know? And that one sold for $20 plus shipping. Picked it up just a little while ago. Didn't pay too much, couple bucks. $20 plus shipping. And this one went to a viewer. Matter of fact, I'm not sure. I'm going to say thank you to Sharon for these. It says repeat buyer, which doesn't necessarily mean that they are a viewer, but sometimes it does. So I'll say thank you. And this one went to Shane. When I saw this, I just had to have it on my car guide, and this will work great in my oddball car collection. I love your content and how you include the whole family. Thank you, and happy holidays. eBay store is the Pickled Picker. I like it. Chevy fan 1978. There you go. The Pickled Picker. That's really cool. I like that name. I love reading these names sometimes. I don't know why, but he says he loves how I include the whole family. Have you noticed there hasn't been one animal out here to visit me? There hasn't been one kid yet. There will be, I hope. My wife hasn't come out here, although I took a break a little while ago and went up and ate dinner. So she made a little dinner. That was sweet of her. So, at any rate, maybe I'll get her to come down. She hadn't been down in a video in a while. And she went to the Goodwill because there's a bag right back there that has Goodwill stuff in it. And I didn't buy it. But maybe we'll talk about that on the next episode. One of our 50/50 charity Christmas. Well, that reminds me of something. Christmas auctions went out. We got a sticker and we got an Inaman ornament went out of here. And half of this money has already been donated. In this case, it was to St. Jude. Most of these are going to be St. Jude. So I want to give a big thank you to somebody. Looks like it is Michael. I recently won the large version, okay, very cool, of the Inaman. And he has helped get things moving so far. Of course, scientifically proven, 99.8% of the time. Hopefully this little guy will help boost Christmas sales at the end of Q4. This will make a fun gift for my father-in-law who also watches your channel. If anyone in your family is looking for a nice piece of vintage jewelry, please feel free to take a look at my eBay page. As always, thank you for your content. Happy holidays, Michael. It's Valley Forge Antiques. I didn't even notice that. Well, thank you. Y'all check out Valley Forge Antiques. They have a ton of feedback. Over 10,000 feedback, y'all. That is a lot. That means they've been doing it a long time. I think we're getting close to 13,000 feedback. And we've been at it a long time. Look at that. It's like yelling for Beetlejuice. And they show up, huh? And you got your treat. Right. Speaking of animals and ornaments, Marilyn has always been super sweet to us, and she sent us a bunch of ornaments, some of which we've sold off. And so I asked her if we could make a donation to a charity in her honor, and she sent me a message back and told me where to, and that's what we're doing right now. We're sending off half of that Muppet ornaments proceeds, and we're sending it off to a animal rescue. So all your little buddies out there can be treated as nice as you two are. So thank you, Marilyn. We appreciate you. Turner's got some Commonwealth comedy for you. This one's a tongue twister, though, so we'll see if you get it. All right, what do you got?
What do the elves use to clean Santa's sleigh?
What do the elves use to clean Santa's sleigh? What?
Sanitizer.
Very good. Truth be told, we struggled with sanitizer for a minute, so Turner got it. Thank you, bud.
Bye.
Sold a Marmot shirt. That's how you pronounce that. It's nothing special. $1 into 15 plus shipping. And another viewer sale. 5 Nights at Freddy's. Right there. What's that one called? Chicken Freddy? I don't know what the heck it is. $13.30 plus shipping. And that one was a viewer as well. So after having very few or none over the last few days, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 of them this time. So thank you, Maria. Thank you for all the great content. My family and I love watching your YouTube channel. My son was missing this plush. Noticed it on the cabin shelf. Happy to grab it from you guys. Happy holidays. Thank you. We appreciate it. I hope he enjoys it. Wallen is making a mess, but we replaced that one with another one. I'm going to have to vacuum in here. Sold a bunch of Boy Scout patches, and we just decided to auction them all off and give it to somebody who maybe specializes in stuff like that at a pretty cheap price. I can't even find them. There they are. And they're not super old. They're not super valuable, but there's definitely money to be made in that lot. We put them on auction and took less, of course. I'm assuming it's a viewer, Monica, because we advertise these on Instagram. So for $23.50 plus shipping. And back to those multi-quantity stocking stuffer type things, and we sell these all the time. This is a great mix today of newly listed, new items, vintage items, items that have been listed, and almost all of our multi-quantity stuff seems, except for the keychains and a few other things, and the posters have been selling. That's why I like to have a good mix in the store. Sold some Gertie earrings, and that reminds me of something that I'm going to do. I am going to take every single one of these ET items. I get this request every once in a while and put them all in one giant lot. And I'm going to do 2 of them. I think I'll put one on eBay, and I'll put one over on Dibdit.com and put some good deals on. We have like 16, I think, different little ones of these earrings and pins and all of that stuff. We've got all these pins over here, and we're going to put them all in one giant lot for like $50. Just one of each. It's It'd be a pretty cool little lot. So way cheaper, of course. You know, it's probably $125 to buy them all separate. And we're going to put them over there. Y'all can go check it out if it's sold on eBay. You can go to dibdit.com and check it out over there. So we'll put 2 of them out, and then I won't have to have that request all the time. So that one sold for $7.95 plus shipping. Already got Reagan in here, and I got Wallen chewing on his little bone thing, and Bluebird's mama's back here, y'all. She did all the shipping today, and Reagan's got a couple people to thank.
Timothy got an ornament, and Leanne got a CWP sticker and a t-shirt. Awesome.
And I think there's 19 left we were talking about in here, so thank y'all. We appreciate it. We're hoping to sell out this year. We ordered 100 of them, so that would be awesome. Thank you, Reagan.
Bye, and don't forget to get your sticker at CommonwealthBicker.com.
All right, y'all. I just want everybody to know that I shipped everything for the past week in here. Everything.
It's not true.
It's true.
No, it's not.
But she shipped everything in here except for Jack over there. I'm going to ship Jack. But look at that. She did all that. And she did it in like 40 minutes. It's pretty impressive. Hey, I just turned off all the lights and opened the door to leave and realized I didn't film an ending. And I wanted to remind you of 2 things. One is hashtag give an eBay gift card for Christmas. If you typically buy a gift card just to hand out to coworkers, to the trash man, to whoever, the postal workers, this year, if you buy, you know, restaurants and stuff like that and Amazon cards and stuff, think about giving an eBay gift card for Christmas. It'll help a ton of us, all of us, I hope, in the coming year, maybe bringing more people to eBay to shop our stuff. Maybe you're a Macari seller, a Poshmark seller. I don't know if they have gift cards like that. Maybe they're digital, but eBay has those hard ones, and it's just something to think about. Help fellow resellers out. I've also been buying. I've bought one thing for each person in my immediate family, and I bought one thing for my brother from other resellers in different communities that I'm in. The Trash to Cash reseller group on Facebook. Dropped one in the Discord that we have. I've bought one from a viewer. Well, they're probably all viewers of this channel, but I think you get the point. And I grabbed one that... it's not for anybody else. I grabbed one for me because I just absolutely loved it. You probably heard me talk about this last year. Katie Reeds does these. I like to not just help those resellers out there that sell like I do, which we've done. I've bought a bunch of wrestling figures the other day from a reseller as well that I am, well, I don't know him, but I knew him through a group. At any rate, I sent that to my brother, but this one, last year I bought the kids, one for Ghostbusters and one for Harry Potter. These are VHS covers. Right here. See, this is the front of the VHS for Neverending Story. That's the back of the VHS, and Katie Reeds turns these into little notebooks, and she turns the side of the VHS box into a bookmark. And she sells these, and they're pretty reasonable. I bought this, I think, for like $14, $15, and I just love it. You know my love of the 80s and the VHS, and this is in my top 10, so super cool. I bought this one over on dibdit.com. She sells these over there. And she has a few, and I've even asked for some specific ones, and she did that for me last year. I sent her 2 VHS covers, and she turned them into books for me. So, Katie, I appreciate that. I'm glad we can help other resellers out along the way, especially when it's stuff that we like. You know, sometimes it's difficult to give just to give, but at Christmas time, when you got vintage lovers in your life, kind of try to find that right item for them and help out another reseller. I think it's a great idea. You tell me what you think down below. Thank you again for joining us, and I can't wait to see you next time.